Hey everyone, today I am so excited to review my new Esse Planner. Now I look at a lot of different planners and I feel like with 2022 upon us, I've been looking for things at Staples and Walmart and Michael's, but this is a really unique, almost different kind of planner. It's a 6-month planner and it really focuses on your goals and your achievements and things that you want to work towards. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now before we look on the inside, I just want to say that I feel like this is a really sturdy, good quality planner. So it comes with a rubber band here, which is nice in case you're going to take it with you. You want to throw it in your backpack or your purse. It's helpful with these types of book planners where it keeps everything closed and you don't have to worry about things falling out or the insides getting damaged. And there aren't any tabs on this, which is fine because it comes with a bookmark. So if you're looking for a specific page, you can always mark it that way. Now we'll also say that the back comes with a folder, and that's just nice to have in case you have things that you want to put in your planner. I'm always a fan of a planner that has some type of folder, pouch, anything like that, just in case you have things that are going to go on the inside. So, you know, upon first glance, it's just a really nice, sturdy, high quality planner. Now, when you look on the inside, let's take a little look. Before you even get to that first page of writing your name down, there are instructions on how to use this planner. So when you look at it, it says, write down your goals for the year on the yearly goals pages, which you can find at the end of the planner. To motivate yourself, include a reward for each goal when and if it is accomplished. So what's really interesting about this is to start with your goals in the back of the planner. I feel like a lot of planners have space for goals in the beginning. There's space to write, you know, your intentions or your plans or your routines. So it's interesting to go to the back. But when I go to the back, there are a couple notes pages, which is really important to me. You know that I'm a big fan of that. But there are spaces for 10 goals. So what I like is that you have the goal space on the left and the reward space on the right. Now, some goals I don't necessarily think need a reward. For example, if your goal is save enough money to go on vacation, I think it would be obvious that the reward would be go on vacation, but that is completely up to you. And what's great is that you have the option whether you want to write a reward or not. Another thing I like is that this is a 6-month planner and there are only 10 spaces for goals. And the reason why I like that is because sometimes I think it is really easy to get carried away and be like, I'm feeling productive, I'm feeling motivated, I'm gonna write down 20 things I'm going to accomplish. And you kind of get a little bit overexcited and then you wind up getting overwhelmed a week in and then you're like, forget it, I can't do any of this. So I think 10 is a good number. I mean, ultimately you could write down 3 goals, but I think it's good to have no more than 10 for a 6-month planner. Now going back to the front, it tells you how to use the monthly, the weekly, and the daily layouts because there are all 3 of those in this planner. Now the monthly planner pages, you are supposed to write down your plans so you know what's coming and what to focus on, write down your events of the month, and set your monthly priorities. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these monthly layouts. Now the monthly is undated. There's a little dot in each box so you can write down the number date on there. And this is a planner that starts Sunday and goes through Saturday, which I'm a huge fan of. I've mentioned that in multiple videos. I really like that. Because it's undated, there's also a spot in the top right corner for the month. So I think that's great. And there's also a column for notes right below that. And it's sort of like a dot grid. I will also say that sometimes I think that planners can be too small, and this is the perfect size for being able to be compact enough that you could just take this with you, but there's enough room that you could easily write whatever you need to on the monthly spread. Now, in addition to the calendar and the notes column, you have this month's goals and this month's priorities, and there are 5 lines for each. So I really like that. I like that there might be space for 10 goals in the back, but maybe at any given time in a month, you're only focusing on 5 things. So I think that that is really great. The monthly layout is really nice because you have space for notes, goals, priorities, but it's also clean enough for you to be able to write down what you need to and to not be overwhelmed by looking at a million things on one open spread. All right, now let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly planner page is set to define your weekly priorities and plan the events for each day of the week, and also have a bird's eye view of the week ahead. The bird's eye view of the week ahead is something that I absolutely love, and it's kind of a reason why I like planners with a weekly option and why exclusively a daily doesn't always work for me. It's almost a little bit stressful, and that's because I can have a beautifully laid out daily page. I can have things from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. I can have my meals, my workout, all of my work, my appointments, my errands, my chores. everything's scheduled and it's beautifully highlighted, and I can complete that and still feel stressed because I'm like, this was today, but I don't know what's going on for the rest of the week. So to have that option where you've got your monthly, and now we're gonna break it down to the weekly, where you can see like where everything is going to happen, the priorities, maybe some chores, maybe some events that are going to take place that week. I think having that overview is incredibly important. Now flipping to that weekly page, you get there and you see that there is a space to write the dates, the week's priorities at the top, and you get a pretty good amount of, you get about 3 lines, so it's a pretty good amount of space there. And then you get Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, share a box. Now I would typically say for a weekly, this might not be enough space. However, you're going to get a daily page for each day of the week, including Saturday and Sunday. They get their own full-size page for the daily, which is incredible, almost unheard of in the planner world. So that's amazing. And I think going back to that bird's eye view, the weekly planner page is meant for that. So you don't need to put a million details on here. This is more big picture. So it's really nice to have that weekly overview. Lastly, let's take a look at the daily instructions. So it says the daily planner is to be used each day, ideally in the morning, which that makes sense. A nice way to organize and set up your day. Write down the things you have to get done that day in the schedule area. Use your to-do list for any errands or random tasks you would like to get done. All right, so let's take a look at the daily. So we've got your schedule on the left side from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Now what I like about this is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. I feel like is a really good range. And I also feel like space-wise, you could, if you had to, break these into halves. So if you wanted to do something in the half-hour increments, you could definitely fit it without it being difficult, I think. Now next to that, you get space for 8 items in your to-do list, and then below that you get some note space, which is like a nice dot grid. At the top is the space for the date. Now this is just a great layout. You get 1 daily per page. So basically it works out that you have that weekly and then 7 daily pages follow. And I think that this is great. What I really want to do is make a second follow-up video. Try this for a week, and I mean really try this, where like every day I get up, I sit down in the morning, I eat breakfast, and even though, you know, mornings can be a little chaotic, I dedicate 10 minutes to this planner, to writing in it and seeing at the end of the week if I'm feeling a little bit more calm and at peace because I have planned out my week, I've looked at it on a larger scale, but also I've spent time planning out my day. Now I will also say that I have come into a very busy season of life and work particularly, and to maximize my time, I have started doing this where I will break down in 30-minute increments what tasks I want to be doing. I've never been that type of meticulous planner before because it felt like a little bit too much for me, but I was feeling really stressed last week and I was like, there is no way I'm going to get done everything I need to get done. And by doing that, it helped me focus so much that right now, this is your time to just be doing this one item. It's not time to be starting an item and then remembering another thing and then going to a third thing and then a fourth thing. I realized I was starting a million tasks and not finishing any of them. So having a schedule where I break it down in 30-minute increments really helped me say, you'll get to tasks 2, 3, and 4, but right now you just need to focus on 1. So I think to really dive into this and try it, you know, really go all in 7 days in a row, maybe 14 days in a row, I think that that would provide me a lot of clarity and peace in my schedule, which is something headed into the holidays right now. It feels a little chaotic. We're about to move, so things just feel a little crazy right now. I think that this is something that would be really good for me. So I really like the layout of this. The last thing that I didn't say was after the instructions, there is a page for your name, address, phone number, email, and an inspirational quote. Now this does look like the Moleskine planner. It does not have the blood type in it, which is so funny. That video, people are still leaving me comments like a year later where they're like, my blood type is O positive or whatever, which is so funny because that's just, you know, a little bit of a random out there thing. But anyway, this does look a little bit like the Moleskine. And I think that it is reminiscent of that in the fact that it's very simple. But I think that the way that it's laid out, it's intentionally simple to make sure that you can maximize your time and put down everything you need to. So I think that this is a really interesting planner and I'm excited to try it out. So there you have it, the Esse Planner. If you're interested in getting one, I will leave a link below. Now also, if you're a person who has a separate planner from your main planner just to help you with productivity, organization, whether it's a meal planner, a fitness, a budget, maybe it's a business planner, I would love to hear about that in the comments below. And just if you have any tips tips for making it work and maximizing your time just to really make sure that you're being as productive as you can. Maybe this isn't something that you use year-round, but just when you feel like you really need to focus, maybe it's a time where you're feeling, you know, a little bit stressed and you're like, I need to make sure that I'm getting everything done. So if you have a second planner, I would love to hear about that. And if you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.